Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is Gloria again. I got some comments that I hadn't said my name, so I'm so sorry. I'm Gloria. It's nice to meet all of you who I don't know. Um, I am signing in for a quick update. I promised you an update in a couple of days, and it's been longer than that. I apologize. It's been a very busy week so far. Um, Updates, I got in to see my neurologist, which was a really good thing. You can probably tell I have a lot more energy today. I found out that part of my extreme exhaustion was more than just recovering from a brain injury, which you do feel tired. But it was because they had given me, just kind of as a matter of course, Lipitor, which lowers your cholesterol. I'm not quite sure why I was even given that, but I just really wasn't in a position to be questioning a lot of things. And I think it's just kind of like a normal, after a stroke, you are given something to lower your cholesterol and a blood thinner. So, and that's what I was given, those two things, and only those two things. Unfortunately, because my blood pressure runs so low naturally, Lipitor is a statin, so it affects your heart, and it was plummeting my blood pressure, which is why I felt so ridiculously weak and tired. I would take it before I went to bed at night, as instructed, and when I sleep, all of us, when we sleep, our blood pressure typically is somewhat lower than it is during the day when we're up and moving and talking and using our arms. And so giving me a statin right before I went to bed at night basically meant that I was half dead all night with ridiculously low blood pressure. And then the next day, I would continue to be ridiculously tired until that medication was starting to wear off. And I would start feeling a little better just about the time it was time to take it again and go to bed. So it was like this vicious cycle. And when I started actually looking at my medication and saying, gee, I've never taken Lipitor before, I want to learn all about it. When I saw it was a statin, I thought, well, no wonder. So I did something you're really not supposed to do. I don't recommend it. But since I knew that my cholesterol is, well within normal range, I stopped taking the Lipitor. And within maybe 2 days, I started to feel human again and have a little more energy. So I still get tired very quickly if I do anything. I got up and got ready to see you, and even put on a little makeup, which makes me feel good. And I'm exhausted. So quick update. At the neurologist, he blessed my decision not to take the Lipitor, so he's well aware that I'm not taking it. And I'm staying on the blood thinner, which I definitely want to do for as long as I need to, because if there are any other little clots in there that didn't get broken up or dissolved by the TPA, the clot busting drug, or if there are larger blood clots anywhere in my body, it will slowly dissolve them over time, so that I don't have a more significant stroke in the future. So I will happily take blood thinners for as long as necessary. And if that's the rest of my life, so be it. I'm okay with that. The other things that we talked about were some of the deficits that I'm experiencing. This starting and stopping of my speech and organizing my thoughts, and sometimes things disappearing that I can't get back to in order to talk about or continue my conversation. So the outcome of the visit is that I have a whole lot more tests to go and have. My first one is tomorrow. It is a memory test. Um, I I have a photographic memory, and this will be interesting to see what the results are. I am having some short-term memory issues, things that probably everybody else would say is normal just for everyday life, but it's not normal for me. So normally, if somebody tells me a number, I especially like hang on to numbers in my long-term memory forever. I have some childhood friends that I can still tell them their home telephone number from when they were children, and because it's just in there and I can't quite purge the hard drive. So I have a fantastic memory normally, and I'm noticing a little bit of a difference. Somebody even tells me a date and time of an appointment, and um, while we're talking about if that's a good day and time, I've already lost the exact day and time, and that is very unusual for me. So we'll see what the memory test says tomorrow. I'll update you after that. On Let's see what else is coming. The next one I'm having is an EEG. It's basically just tells you what your brain activity looks like. It tells you if things are firing accurately, if you have normal brain waves. I'm not sure if mine were ever normal, but we're going to see what that says. And then later this month, I think it's about 2 weeks from now, I have a nerve connectivity velocity test. And I hadn't heard of that one before. So we're going to learn together. The doctor's office gave me a little write-up about what it is. It evaluates the health of the nerves, including the time it takes to stimulate the nerve, speed of the nerve, and the number of fibers functioning on the nerve. So they're going to zap me into my head and see where everything goes. I also have another issue or problem that has surfaced. I have this kind of pulsing, whooshing, like blood whooshing past my eardrums, and it's with pressure, and it's painful and annoying. Sometimes it's just for like a couple of heartbeats, and sometimes it's for 50 heartbeats. And let me just say, this is not like boom boom boom, you can hear your heart beating in your ears. This is like I can literally hear the blood moving past my ears. So if you think back to those science movies that you watched when you were a child, of the blood going through the arteries and veins and blood vessels, and it's like that whooshing movement of blood sound, and it's with this pressure. It's very uncomfortable, and as uncomfortable as that is, eventually it stops and it's replaced with screaming tinnitus. Tinnitus, for those of you who don't know, is like a high-pitched squeal that you hear constantly. People who suffer from tinnitus often try to have some background noise or a fan on, and that helps. This is so intense and so high pitched and so loud that nothing blocks it out. Not the television, not music, not a fan. It's always there. And this is something that's brand new for me. I have never had any kind of ongoing tinnitus problem. We all can have ringing in our ears occasionally for a short period of time, but not a constant, crazy, loud, high pitch all the time sound. So I'm working on blocking it out all the time, which is a struggle. So because of that, I'm also going to an audiologist, and we will find out what the audiologist says about that. For those of you who are in the medical profession, I want you to know that although it is sometimes that blood whooshing sound, sometimes a symptom if someone has a brain aneurysm, I most assuredly do not. I spoke with the neurologist about it, and he said he would normally be concerned that that could be the case, but because I have had so many scans of my brain in the last couple of weeks, he's quite certain that I do not have any kind of brain aneurysm issue. So I am very relieved to hear that. So we'll see what the audiologist has to say. The other referral I got was to a speech therapist. I am slowly wading through making all these appointments and don't have an audiologist or a speech therapy appointment yet, but I will soon. So that's where I am right now. My neurologist wants me to wait for the results of the EEG, which measures the brain waves, and the nerve connectivity velocity test. I had to look at what the name was again because I couldn't remember it. It's a mouthful, before I start physical therapy. And that's what I'm going to do. I am having a couple of other issues that I hadn't shared with you before. I guess, I don't know if I just didn't think of them or if they just kind of surfaced afterward, but I'm having some fine motor skill problems. I can, I make jewelry, and it's actually turning out to be really good physical therapy, as well as some, I guess, just relaxation therapy for me. It's very relaxing. I enjoy doing it. You can start and stop whenever you need to, which is perfect for me right now. But it's really helping me. It helped me to figure out that I had these fine motor skill problems. I'll hold the needle and I'm just holding it, and all of a sudden I'll drop it, and just for no particular reason. But making the jewelry and sewing these tiny, tiny little beads and crystals and pearls, it's really very therapeutic for me right now. And so I'm not allowing myself to be frustrated. I'm just saying, well, there we go. This is why I'm doing it. If I drop something, I pick it up and try again. So I have some fine motor skill issues. I'm having a really hard time with time perception, something I have never had in the past. I have a really good sense of time and how much time has passed, if it's a little bit of time or a lot of time. What's happening now is that time just goes. I guess it's great if you're watching a horrible movie, but I will sit and watch a 2-hour movie, and I'm thinking that 30 minutes has gone by and the movie's over. I just have no concept of time whatsoever. So there it is. Another new challenge, I guess. Um, anyway, that's about it. That is my update. It's not much of an update yet, but things are coming along. I am so, so thankful that I'm not um, just feeling like someone took a vacuum cleaner and sucked all my energy away. I'm tired, but it's kind of like a normal healing tired right now. And I'm hoping that my strength will come back and my endurance will get better. I am going to post a separate video about how to be your own best advocate and when to fire your doctor. Um, I fired my internist this week, and I'll talk a little bit about that and what you should be looking for um, to make sure that you're really getting the best possible care. Um, so until next time, I bid you farewell, and I wish you all a wonderful rest of your day.